I'm getting blown now. I'm in my zone now.
And that, funny enough, we're talking about lessons and blessings this morning, but not just the average way. How to turn lessons into blessings. I don't think this concept is emphasized enough. I think we separate the two way too much, and I'm guilty of doing that. I've done it way before, many times before, where I'm like, okay, this is a lesson, this is a blessing. No, no, no. It has to be, a combo, mesh them together because that's what they are, So, yes, life does consist of many lessons, but then life consists of many blessings as well. Oh, snap. Good morning, Hefe. Hefe. Good morning. You know what I'm saying? So life consists of lessons and blessings, yes. Um, but if you want all blessings, you have to, like I said, turn the lessons into blessings, see them as such. So we are on earth to experience a variety of things. Oh, snap, yes. Thank you for coming through to the show while you're at work, Hefe. You know what I'm saying? So we are here on earth to experience life and its abundance, and abundance comes from two sides of the coin sometimes, lessons and blessings, you know what I'm saying? So both good and bad, positive and negative, so take into consideration all of those things. So life is what you make of it, as people say, because that's the truth. So life can be good or bad, or good and bad, whatever, however you want to look at it, but lessons and blessings for the most part. Okay, so look at it this way. When you experience oh my gosh, I keep saying, you know what? Oh my God, good morning! Good morning! You're like, who should talk to? Vibes came in this tank. Anyway, okay, so, sorry about that, guys. I keep wanting to say lessons because I'm trying to blend lessons and blessings together. That's interesting. So when you experience lessons, your perspective is different from everyone else's. Um, and it's different from someone who has never experienced any kind of hardship whatsoever. You know what I mean? So if you if you never experienced any blessings, hey, good morning. If you never experienced any kind of hardship, how would you know? You know what I mean? Yeah, now you see why I was doing that. So if you never experienced any lessons or anything otherwise, yeah, how would you know? You know what I mean? You're not going to know what a lesson is. All you're going to know is blessings, right? Which can be great, but at the same time, we grow. Think of that. Share. We grow through our lessons, we grow through lessons and we turn them into blessings. That's the whole purpose. So think of it this way. So, okay, you have a person that has only experienced blessings for most of their life. They've never experienced anything else, right? And then you have a person who's experienced lessons and blessings. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so isn't it better, to experience both? That way you can grow. Because the person that experiences lessons and blessings, they're going to grow so much more than the person that just experiences blessings. Because yes, it's great to be happy. It's great to receive good things into your life, of course. But if it was such a straight shoot, how would you ever evolve? I don't know. I don't really see the evolution in that. I don't think it's been proven that you can grow from simply just having good experiences all the time. Although that is ideal, like I said, that is ideal. But at the same time, it's not really realistic. You know what I mean? Because life is filled with both. Life is not just good. Life is not just bad. But perspective is everything. You know what I mean? So the person that only experiences one way of living all the time is not going to get as much as they can out of life versus the person that experiences all aspects, all angles of life. You know what I mean? So you have to play it safe at times. You have to get out there. Yeah, you can't be afraid. And I know that's scary because we don't like lessons. I don't really care for them. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really interested in lessons like that because some of them are really hard. Some of them are like, wow, like really. You look up and you ask God and you're like, okay, this is what we're doing. You know what I mean? And God is like, yes, because I believe in you and I know that you're going to pull through this. And not only are you going to pull through, you're going to be a champion like I want you to be. So, yes, I'm going to put you through this. And it's like, all right, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. And that's tricking your mind and shifting your perspective. That I say that a lot because just the play on words can get you to understand what the concept of turning lessons into blessings is all about. Saying things like, all right, this is not happening to me, this is happening for me, which in tune means, okay, this is not to hurt me, this is to help me, this is to build me, this is to keep me safe, in all actuality. And in most cases, like, you go through stuff and you think, wow, like, this is bad. No, because if you really look at what could have happened if that didn't happen to you, yeah, you'll be so grateful. You know what I mean? Trust me. Comparing the two, you're like, thank God you came in the nick of time. You ever thought about that? You ever had those moments? I feel like everybody has, where you're like grateful. In the moment you're not, but in hindsight, you're like, wow, like that could have ended really badly if that didn't happen to me, or if that didn't step in, or things didn't shift, you know what I mean? The way that they were supposed to, if your perspective wasn't shifted, or if you didn't get that lesson, altogether. So, and that's where the side of it comes in, where it turns into a blessing. It no longer just feels like a lesson, it then is a blessing because it saved you, it taught you something, it just shifted everything, it shifted things the way that they were supposed to be.
I'm getting blown now. I'm in my zone now.
Even though it wasn't the way you wanted it ideally, but it's the way it's supposed to be. And that's what happens in life. Things may not always work out the way we want them to, but they work out the way they're supposed to, if that makes any sense. So, oh my gosh, good morning. You know what I'm saying? So that's what life is all about. Life is about perspective. What you see is what you believe. Thank you for that share. you know how you feel, things like that. So always show gratitude for what you have. We talk about this one a lot. Grand Rising, how you doing? So always show gratitude for what you have. And when you think, well, first off, you should think about other people. Think of those who are less fortunate than you. And I know it's like, oh, that's super cliche, but no, there's a major purpose to why this is done. This is not done to make you feel bad. This is not done to take away from, what you're going through. Not at all. This is done so that you can understand the reality of your situation, so that you can understand the type of person that you are compared to others, and what your life is truly about compared to other people, so that you can understand how much you have going for yourself that you overlook, things about you, things about your life, things about the people you have in your life, things about, I mean, things what things like the people you have in your life, things like your personality, you as a person, but what you have overall compared to someone else. And I know we say don't compare yourself to others. No, definitely not. But sometimes you have to look at somebody else's situation in order for you to show gratitude. So think of the less fortunate. And by the way, just a little side thing, if you do, well, no, I'll say when you visit WESOFLYMorningshow.com and you purchase a shirt, when you purchase a shirt, we're going to donate a shirt to the homeless and the less fortunate. So it's for a great cause, by the way. So, you could look fly and they could look fly. Everybody have this smile on their face, and they might have a mantra shirt on, an affirmation shirt. Positivity is our superpower. We're spreading that positivity all around. You know what I'm saying? That thing is so fresh. I'm gonna go crazy one more time before I beam down at the end. I'm just warning you, city, so get ready for it. Anyway, so you're not gonna realize how awesome your life truly is until you see what you possess already. You have to be grateful for your mindset. You have to be grateful for the people you have in your life. You have to be grateful for what has happened to you, because if it didn't happen to you, look at it this way: you would never be the individual that you are today. So think about how smart you are. Think about how well rounded you are. Think about the way you strategize, the way you feel, the way you act. You know what I mean? You wouldn't know how to be this way if you didn't learn lessons, if you didn't have experiences, right? From being an infant into adulthood, we experience a variety of things. We have so much going for ourselves that we don't give into. We don't allow ourselves to believe. We always look at what's wrong with us. We don't look at what's right about us. It's the same thing with lessons and blessings. Like, we don't see the goodness in the lesson oftentimes. We don't see that it's not actually a bad thing, it's actually a good thing. Come on in. Thanks for the share. Come on in. So like I said, look at someone else. Hey, come on in. Look at someone else's side of the picture. You know what I mean? And then look at your side. Ooh, braces today. Look at your side of the picture and you'll see the differences. You'll see, wow, all right, it's not as bad as I thought. Or there's so much that I have that other people don't. And that's not to brag or anything, but it's like, let's be real. You got to be real. You know what I mean? So, and like I said, the person that's experienced hardship versus the person that hasn't, it's going to be drastically different in terms of how they are in life, and in terms of what they're doing and how they feel and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So you wouldn't even realize how awesome your life is if you've never, been through something. So like I said, always show gratitude for what you have. When you think about all these situations, always be grateful no matter what. And honestly, when you're grateful, it's very hard to be upset when you feel like you have a lot going for yourself, right? So, you learn from researching, you learn from experience, and you learn from observation. So throughout your day, when you experience something, decide, what it falls under, a lesson or a blessing. If it's a lesson, if it's a blessing, excuse me, take a moment to be thankful, like I said, and really be thankful for it. Feel it in your heart, and thank God and praise him. Sorry to get religious real quick, but I'm just being honest. That's what I do. Um, and feel it in your heart, feel it in your soul, and say, thank you for protecting me, or whatever the case may be. Thank you for shining a light on that situation. Thank you for just shining a light on me in my life, and thank you for believing in me to pull through that, and to helping me to pull through that. And if it's a lesson, ask yourself, all right, what did I need to learn from that situation? Because that's what a whole lesson is, clearly something you don't know that you need to know. What is the information? What is the information that you need to receive from this situation? That's what you need to be thinking about. you know so change your attitude towards the situation, so that you can so that you can help yourself to look at it from a positive standpoint. Come go Sorry, go towards it, with a place of, I'm trying to figure out how to word this correctly. I'm sorry. Allow yourself to have love towards these situations. Don't go at it with hostility. Come from a place of love. There we go. Gosh. All right. So nothing negative. We're coming with positivity. Positivity spread. We're not doing the negativity spread. We're doing the positivity spread. So come with love. You know what I mean? Come at it the right way. You know what I'm saying? So change your attitude. Once you change your attitude, you change your situation. It's that simple. I promise you. Because Your mind is telling you these things. It's the power of your mind that helps you to see these things. Because without your mindset, you can't really understand a lot of things. Without experience, you can't understand anything. So it's more so about figuring out the lesson, you know what I mean? And changing your attitude towards it.
I'm getting blown now. I'm in my zone now.
So try to figure out, how you can feel good about the situation, how you can make it right. If there's a lesson to be learned, okay, how can you make it right? Can you make it right? If you can't, keep moving. Don't dwell on it. Don't hold it against yourself. Don't feel bad about it. Just do what you have to do. You know, get the going. But regardless, you're always going to take something from it. No matter what else. Like, you're always going to take something from it. I promise you. you know so try to feel good about the situation. Do what is required. That's the hard part for a lot of people, is that we don't want to do what's necessary. You know what I mean? We want to do what we want to do, but we don't want to do what's required of us. And that's where you become stubborn. You can't be stubborn when you want a great life. You can't be stubborn when you want to receive blessings. Oh my gosh. You know what I mean? So you can't afford to be stubborn when you have a vision, when you have a dream, when you have, a purpose to live for, which we all do. You know what I mean? So sometimes we gotta just really coach ourselves along. Do things that are difficult. I know a lot of us are like, I don't want to do that. A lot of us don't want to. You're not the only one. You know what I mean? We all get those moments where we're like, God, really? Like, do I have to do this? Yes, yes, darling, you do. But it's going to work out for the best. I promise you it will. It always does. You may not see it today. You may not see it tomorrow. It may take a month or two. It may take a year or two. Who knows? But when you see it and you reflect and you're like, wow, that's what that was for, you're going to be so excited. And that's where the blessings come in. So like I said, try to make the best out of the situation. Do what's required of you. Surrender to the situation. That's why I said, when you don't know what to do, sometimes it's best to just surrender. Surrender to the flow. Give into the flow. Understand it. Don't fight it. The more you fight it, the harder it becomes. The more you fight the lesson, the longer it takes for you to learn. You know what I mean? And if you don't learn it, it's not going to be a blessing. So you just got to like learn how to develop a strong sense of self-love, so that regardless of what happens to you, it doesn't shift you entirely. It doesn't shift your core at all. It doesn't take away from who you are. you know your core is who you truly are. You know what I mean? Regardless of anything that happens around you on earth, your core cannot be removed. You know what I mean? That's you. That's like organic. That's natural. Whatever happens to you, that's the natural you. Come on in. So, like I said, surrender though. Surrender so that you can get through. And watch when you surrender, and when you do what you have to do, regardless of if you don't want to do it or not, the blessings fall into place. That's when they come. When you stop fighting it and you give in and you're like, all right, this is what I have to do. There's no getting around it. I tried everything else and this is the only route that I have to take. Then yeah, those blessings are going to come. But as long as you're prolonging the process, it's going to keep feeling like, all right, lesson after lesson after lesson until you figure it out. And I've always believed that. Like, we often ask, okay, why do I keep going through the same situation? Why does it feel like I'm learning the same thing over and over again? Well, because you're not getting the answers that you need. You're not learning, you're not finding a solution. You're not fully absorbing your situations. You're not seeing them for what they're worth. You don't understand the value. And when you don't understand, life is like, okay, you didn't get it. Let me hit you from this angle. Oh, you didn't get that one. All right, let me hit you from the top. All right, the left, the right, the bottom. The middle? Like what which one? You know what I mean? And sometimes they do a whole circle on you. And that's when it's really bad when you get all the directions at one time. And that's when we're like, oh my God, am I gonna make it? Yes, you will. Because you didn't learn the up, down, left, right. You know what I'm saying? It's like a cheat code. Like you didn't learn that. So it's like, let's do a circle. And that's how life is, for real. Like y'all know it happens like that. If you don't learn one way, it comes unexpectedly. It comes from all angles until God is like, all right, I hope you're listening. I hope you realize what needs to be done. I hope you understand what I'm trying to tell you and trying to show you. It's not to harm you, it's to help you, but you have to listen. You have to be open to receiving. And that's a crucial part of the lesson and blessing process. Is a lot of people, they want blessings and they want to learn, but they only want to learn certain things. They're picky about it. It's like you don't have a choice in a lot of ways in life. You don't. You can't just choose what to learn and what not to know. You have to learn it all. Then the blessings come. That's why, most of the time we talk about being open minded. It's not just for the heck of it. It has a purpose behind it, because when you're open minded, things fall into place. But as long as you're closed off because of fear or anything that's negative, then yeah, of course you're going to be wandering aimlessly. You're going to be like, what is going on with my life? What is going on with me? Because you're not seeing the bigger picture. You're not seeing yourself. You know what I mean? You're not truly understanding you, and you're not understanding the situation at hand. You know what I mean? Good morning. Thank you for sharing. So learning a lesson is a game changer for sure. It's almost magical. It's almost like a miracle, because like I said, when it shifts you and it shifts your life path, because that's what lessons do a lot of times. Like look at a lesson like this. Okay, I feel like this is an example that we all can relate to, so I'm gonna try my best to explain it. You know what I mean? Okay, so like let's say you're walking down the street, right? All right, so you have so many different directions you can take. Of course, that for sure in life we have so many different directions we can go. Okay? So, all right, so one side is, kind of a busy street, not too bad, it's clear for the most part. Then the other side, is filled with traffic and all that stuff, and it's a mess, right? Okay, so are you gonna go down the clear path where you can get to work or wherever your destination safely because it's not that busy? Or are you gonna go down the road where it's like nothing but traffic, people are fighting, screaming at each other, all kind of stuff? You could possibly get hit by a car, whatever. You just never know what's gonna happen. It's like the war zone. You're gonna go down the clear path, right? More than likely. So that's what God does for you. He's trying to clear the path. He's like, hey, I'm doing the work for you. It's like parting the sea, like walk on through, like nothing's gonna happen. You just gotta walk. I've done all the hard work. You just gotta walk. And we're like, no, I don't want to. What do you mean you don't want to walk? That's how silly that sounds. You know what I mean? We don't think of it that way. But it is. It's that simple. In most cases, it's really that simple. Oh my gosh, good morning. So that's how we got to see it though. Good morning, good morning, good morning. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, look at it that way. Or you could also look at it as like, I like to make that example where, we're about to cross the street. But then you get that feeling, no, 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 don't cross the street just yet. And little do you know, a car just zooms right in front of your face. And it's like, thank God I did not walk across the street, because that's how it is. You know what I'm saying? So that's a lesson, So either way, you know, it's either you do it the hard way or you do it the easy way.
I'm getting blown now. I'm in my zone now.
And when you do it the hard way, you learn more. When you do it the easy way, you don't learn anything at all. So you know what I mean? Whichever way you want to go down. But like I said, look at it as being a good experience. Don't look at it as being bad. Your perspective is changing. And you know what's so beautiful about when your perspective changes? And then look. It's great because like you can compare it to the positivity spread, okay? So we do a positivity spread, right? So the purpose is for us to change the way we are as people so that we can help other people to change too. You know what I mean? So it's not just us trying to talk or, change everybody else. We're changing ourselves through the show as well. We're learning from these topics as well, because when we do these topics, it requires a lot of mental strength. You got to really dive deep into yourself so you can understand what you're talking about. You know what I mean? We're all relating as a team. It's not just one person. It's we so fly. Like Cydia said it yesterday. It's not I'm so fly. It's we so fly morning show. So look at it that way. When your perspective changes, you can help other people to change their perspectives too. So it's the same thing, like when you're positive, you can help the people around you to be positive. But if you don't know how to be positive, how can you help other people to be positive? It's that simple. You have to practice it as well. Try it out, do trial runs with yourself. And then when you figure out what works, then you can share it with other people. That's not to say that it'll 100% be for them, but at least they have suggestions. At least they have things to work with. You know what I mean? At least you're trying to help somebody, whether they can use it or not. At least you tried. You gave it your best shot. And God put you in place to say, hey, here's a route you can take. And they're like, well, let me try it out. And if it's for them, it's for them. But God bless them either way. At least you tried. So don't beat yourself up if you can't help everybody, but at least help yourself. We can only do so much for other people, but we definitely got to show up for ourselves. The more you show up for yourself, the more blessings come your way. The more you take care of yourself, the more blessings come your way, because it's about your perspective. Your mindset is what draws in your experiences. We talk about that all the time. Y'all know what the word is, manifestation. So if you're not feeling right, your life is going to showcase that you're not feeling right. Does that make sense? So your life is going to consistently give you lessons until you get it right in your mind, until you feel right inside, because you are manifesting these things. Like if you feel confused about something, all this confusion is going to come out around you, and it could be, it can lead to a lot of unfortunate situations if we don't shift the way we are, if we don't clear our minds, if we don't take a breath. Sometimes you just got to pause and really breathe and say, all right, let me get myself together, because I'm doing a lot right now. I'm really stressing myself out, because we do that a lot. It's all about us. We do that to ourselves most of the time, because it's not so much about what's thrown your way. It's about, are you gonna dodge? How are you gonna dodge? Are you gonna duck? Are you gonna move left, right? Are you gonna stand still and let it hit you? What are you gonna do? You know what I mean? What's the move that you're gonna make? That's for you to determine. Some people might go to the left, some people might go to the right, some people might just stand and get hit. And they're just like, I'm gonna take it like a champ. I don't really know what's the right answer. It depends on the situation. Every situation is going to require a different strategy. So I can't sit here and tell you what to do every single time. That's you. Your mind and your body has to respond accordingly. You know what I mean? Come on in. So, and that's what's going to happen. The more you put yourself into place, the more you show up for yourself, the more you're present and awake. Be awake. Don't be afraid to be alert. You got to open your eyes. Don't, it's like walking through life with your eyes closed. When you don't want to learn lessons, or you don't know how to turn lessons into blessings, it's like literally walking through life with your eyes closed. It's like if you just open your eyes, you see everything. So look at the lesson. It's right in front of your face. It's right there. Like don't be afraid of it. Go towards it and say, wow, all right, this is what the lesson was trying to tell me. Okay, cool. Now I know what to do. And I know a lot of things are not so straightforward. A lot of things require a lot of strength. A lot of things require a lot of stability. I get that. And sometimes you're like, I don't want to walk towards that, because it could have been a loss or something like that. We know how that goes. And but still, I tell you guys, in those moments, it's trying to teach you overall unconditional love. Love for yourself, love for other people, love for life, love for a higher source, God, whatever the case may be. Come on in. You know what I'm saying? But overall, we're supposed to learn how to love in life, period. That's why we have self-love. That's why we love other people. That's why, you know what I mean, love spreads. That's what all we're doing the same thing. We're trying to figure out how to showcase love the right way, and we're going to keep learning lessons until we learn how to coexist. I keep trying to tell people that we have to coexist. We don't have a choice. You know what I mean? We have to be here as a team. There's no I'm better than you, or I'm away from you, or I'm so locked over here. You know what I mean? So, hey, you know, yes. So, take on that lesson so that you can be, this is going to sound really cliche, a beacon of light. Take on that lesson so you can put your story out there, so that you can put your testimony out there. Take on that lesson so that you can spread positivity, because you're going to turn a negative into a positive. That's what's going to happen. Take on that lesson so that you can show people how it's done. Because you got to be the one. Maybe God chose you so you could be the one to showcase, all right, this is how it's done. Y'all don't know how it's done? I'm going to show you. Maybe you're the one that has to deliver the message. Maybe you're the prophet that has to speak out on this one. Maybe it could be your brother or your sister or your cousin, whoever, but somebody's going to get chosen to deliver a certain message. Or sometimes the same person is going to get chosen to deliver several messages. It just depends. I really feel like we're all prophets, because God puts us through so much stuff, and we're always telling each other, okay, this is what I went through. This is how you can get through it, or this is how I did it. You know what I mean? We're basically delivering messages to each other. And that's what the blessings are all about, is being able to receive the message, getting something out of the experience, and sharing it with those around you. That's where the blessing comes into play, because it's like you are enlightened, you are now knowledgeable. And not only that, as we know, knowledge is power only when you implement it correctly, or implement it at all, period. You can't just withhold it. Doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense, to learn something and then you don't practice it. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, you've learned it, why are you not using it? It's the same thing when you go to school. Yes, you're not going to use everything you learn from school, but the main principles, yeah, you will. You know what I mean? Like how to count, how to speak, how to write, things like that. Those are the core things we learn from school, right? So it's the same thing in life. There are going to be core things that you're going to learn that you can always utilize throughout your entire life.
I'm getting blown now.